ahead and go with questions for Coach.
Yeah, welcome aboard, and what led you to come to Illinois?
Well, thank you. It's great to be here. When I got the call from Coach Underwood, it was a great opportunity, clearly, just to be a part of a program that just has tremendous momentum going around and some storied tradition. So I was excited to have an opportunity to come in and help and be a part of that. What they've been able to do since Coach has been here has been incredible. So for me to just be a part of that and to try to help lift that up was a great opportunity. And, I've already been introduced in some ways to the passionate fan base. So when you get a chance to be in a place that has momentum and has a fan base that's really passionate about what you're doing and support, what more can you ask for? That's what you want to be, as a coach and a competitor playing at, highest levels of college basketball, and being able to try to support that.
Was you being involved with the defense part of the initial conversation, and part of what he was asking you to come do?
Throughout the course of the time, as the talks got more in depth, I think at first it was just us establishing conversation and just gauging generally what the process would be as far as Coach was concerned. And then we kind of dove into some things throughout the time, and we found that there was some both shared and, I don't want to say different, but unique perspectives that I may have in terms of that. So it was just kind of about finding that fit. And, for me, it was a nice opportunity and a nice challenge to try to come in. And like I said, there's already a lot of momentum here, so try to build upon that.
Did you know Coach before the interview, and what did you know about Illinois basketball?
That's a really good question. We did not, actually. So fortunately for me, Coach was actually looking for somebody outside of his circle a little bit. So when I got the initial reach out, I was actually a bit surprised because we didn't have much or any interaction previously to there. But as we had some talks with not only him but the rest of the staff, I found that the staff is really aligned on what they're trying to do and what they're trying to accomplish. And for me, that makes a nice fit. When you're talking about people that are really about supporting the players and working hard and having the same mission and vision of competing for championships, but also helping these guys. There's Bam right there smiling at me. Helping these guys, grow, as human beings, and being a part of this community means a lot to a lot of people. So helping them continue to understand that too. I feel like I fit as far as that standpoint. So I'm just trying to help out as much as I can.
When you're coaching defense, how valuable is it to have a Kylan Boswell?
Oh, that's no question. That's incredible. He impacts the game in so many different ways. And I've had the chance to watch, all the games from last year now, and just seeing how hard he works. So for him and I, it's about trying to, just for one, build a better relationship so that there's trust there, so we can kind of have an understanding of what we're trying to accomplish. But he's been great. All the guys have been great. But specifically, I saw you all talking to, Kyle and Tommy and Ben. They've been guys that have really bought in early to what I've been trying to help them out with. We've been trying to help them out with, and it's been unique in that sense. But just trying to build relationships and trust with them to start, because you can talk about schemes and things all you want, but it's really about trying to, when they've allowed me to coach them hard, so when I'm getting on them, they can respond to that in a good way and know it's coming from a good place.
What do you want to add to this defense, Cam?
Say it again.
What do you want to add to this defense? What do you want to help enhance here?
Yeah, that's a good question. I wouldn't say necessarily it's about adding. I would say it's about, for us, it's just being as connected as we possibly can. Trying to be a team that every possession down, when teams are looking at us, they're okay, this team is disciplined, tough, smart, connected, moving as one, having an understanding. When you're coming down and you're playing in a possession, there's going to be problems that you have to solve. There's going to be recognition that patterns and sequences that are going to be happening. And I think that's just for us, just having an understanding of that and playing with a lot of continuity and synergy on both sides of the floor. So that's what I would say, is trying to have a good grasp on that.
In your experience, Cam, is the summer a good time to kind of establish what you are on both ends of the floor, or does that happen over time?
So that's another good question. So at Colgate, we don't have summer school. Okay, so we still have summer access. So the tone and what you're trying to accomplish in the summer is much different than it would be here. So that's been another fun, unique challenge to kind of find ways to embrace that. But for us, it's just about trying to establish like our care and our understanding on that side of the ball, and just continue to build that unique synergy, and just having them understand that we're playing team defense together.
What to do for that team defense to have the luxury of multiple rim protectors like you have on this team?
It's a lot of fun. It allows you to be able to try to utilize them to play to their strengths. Like we talked about Kylan a little bit earlier, like his ability to guard the ball, pretty much anybody in the country is a utility weapon that we have to be able to try to figure out how to maximize that. And the same with the rim protection. Like you have guys that are way above the rim. So just being able to have that synergy and understanding, like, you're coming over on a rotation. If a big fella's going to be there, you might necessarily need to peel off, take his man. Just having like I said, team defense understanding.
What was your impression of Illinois maybe before you got here, and has it changed, if any?
Well, my impression was that it's a school that, in a place that really cares about basketball. And that impression has only lifted since I've been here. Like, I get off the plane in Champaign and people are already talking about IL, and you know what I mean? And so I think it's just a place that cares about basketball, that cares about the success and of not only the players, but the program in general. So for me, it's just about, like I said, trying to help out. Like the staff here has done a great job, and I'm just trying to help in any way that I can.
You mentioned Brad wanted someone outside of his circle. Kind of, what perspective maybe have you brought that's different than what they had before?
You have to ask him that, or them that, more than me. I just think, it's always good to just bounce different ideas off of each other, and that's something that I've learned early, that coach is really open to hearing different ideas, hearing different perspectives, and that comes in all different shapes and forms. But I think it's just like open dialogue, open conversation. That's something that I've really enjoyed being a part of the staff so far. Like everybody's open to hearing different thoughts.
Have you had a chance to take a deep dive into the recruiting piece of this yet? And if so, then what kind of reception are you getting? Are there certain territories around the country that you'd be focusing on?
No, I wouldn't say territories in particular. I wouldn't say that. But as far as recruiting goes, I feel like, again, I keep using that word momentum, but there's this incredible amount, just when you've seen what the program's been able to do, like when you look up and see the amount of guys that have been placed in the NBA. I'm coming in, and we have a staff going to the draft, going to the green room, supporting guys, back-to-back first round draft picks, and so people feel that, people understand that, same as when you walk into the gym, the Illinois basketball brand is recognized and respected. So that comes with a lot of the territory of understanding, like players are going to want to be able to play in a place like this, and the facilities that we have are awesome. So it all goes hand in hand, but it's definitely been received very well, yeah.
So if Brad was maybe looking to get some outside perspective, how did you maybe view that as joining a staff where you maybe didn't have much relationship or connection?
Say that again?
If Brad was looking for an outside perspective, someone not in his circle, how did you maybe view that as going to the staff where it was going to be brand new for you as well?
Well, I looked at it as a fun challenge, because there's a lot of continuity here as far as the staff, and also with the team this year too, with like some of the retention that the program's been able to build. And I didn't help recruit any of these players, so I'm coming in fresh, clean slate. So for me, it's like not about trying to shake anything up, and I think that's why some of the answers to your questions I don't fully have yet, because I'm trying to learn and observe while also making an impact. So like trying to find that balance and blend has been something that we've been focusing on, but we've been really trying to harp on like basic things right now, like effort, discipline, just being together. Like it's been about behavior and habits this summer, really more than anything.
And for you, what's important in building relationships with guys that you're going to have to coach hard, but you don't know them beyond for the last month? How do you enhance those relationships?
For one, time, I think more than anything, and just care, like them showing them that you care about them and about what you're doing. And then also like trying to be as prepared as possible, but like having them know that you're, in the fight with them. Like if we're playing and, we lose, we lost. I run too. Just like showing them that you're in the fight with them, I think is important. But just spending time with them, learn about learning about them. We have guys from all over the world on this team. So, you know, I was talking about the brand recognition, like that's global. So, you know, getting a chance to like know where guys are from, what they're about, learn about their families, like caring about the person. I think that's important too.
You mentioned effort and discipline. In your opinion, how much is defense, scheme, and footwork, and how much of it is a mentality?
You all ask really good questions. I think the mentality and the commitment comes first, and then off of that you can build into your scheme and your details. But I think you can't have one without the other. I think they're both intertwined. But I think first you have to have like the behavior and the habits to want to do it every time and be disciplined in that way. And then comes the schemes and, you know, the feel and the synergy.
You were asked about Bam, but have you learned early on you can use him as a foot soldier of like what you want to establish? Hey, get him right, get us right. Like, he seems to have a brutal honesty with his teammates and even his coaches.
Yeah, no, he wants that. He accepts that. He lets you know just straight from the jump, like, hey, you can let me know, like, when I'm off base, when I'm off tilt, like, you can coach me hard. And I think, you know, having that example being set is something that's really important, you know, for the group. He's been here. He knows what coach is about. Like, he feeds off of his energy. Like, they work very well together, I've seen so far, in my opinion. So when the other guys see that, it's easy to ramp it up. But I think everybody's been really bought in on trying to just do whatever they've been asked, which is why we've had a pretty good summer.
Coming into this group, how do you go about creating, but worse, more importantly, like enforcing expectation?
Say that again?
How do you, like, coming into the group, how do you go about creating but also enforcing expectations?
Well, the ultimate expectations, right, are you feel that, like I said, like when you get off the plane, like that you feel but that's what you want to be a part of, right? So I feel like expectations are different than the standards, and that's what Coach has been talking about so far. Like we play and we practice and we work towards a standard, right? It's okay to have goals, but we're working towards a standard, and that's something that you commit to every single day. So it's really just about following in tune with like Coach Underwood's message, and then just finding your own ways in your pockets to reinforce that. But yeah, we're going to be about standards. Like, you know, I was told right away, and I saw it, like everyday guy, like that's what it's about. Like that's what it's about, being an everyday guy, showing up, doing your job. And that's not just for players, like that's staff as well. So we have to model that and do that ourselves.
A lot of coaches across the country would preach effort, commitment on the defensive side.
Right.
What's the difference then between those teams that really actually are at the next level in that effort and intensity?
Yeah, how you teach it. Again, the standard that you hold players to, and then not only playing hard but also playing smart, I think is a caveat and nuance that takes teams like from one level to the next, because I think that ultimately creates that connectivity and that synergy when teams are playing as hard as they possibly can, but also playing smart with some intention. That's when you're really competing.
I hope this isn't too broad, but you talked about the brand recognition, the momentum. Can you take me back to the emotions when you accepted? This job seems like it would be a big opportunity and a big role on this staff.
No, I was thrilled. I said, "Come on, coach! Like I've been waiting on this call." And I was really excited about the opportunity and the challenge. But it was also one of those things where people say this is kind of, how could this possibly be? But it was an easy decision, but it was a difficult time period just because of the relationships that I've been able to build, not only me, but my wife as well at Colgate and in the Hamilton community. And we were able to do some really good things there and compete for and win some championships and build some really strong relationships there. So we're hoping that we can be able to do the same here, like compete for championships and build really strong relationships in this community as well. So it was a mixed emotions for sure, just because when you pour your all into something in some place, you know, it's hard to leave. But I was also like really excited and thrilled about the opportunity for sure.
Did you have a welcome to Brad Underwood coaching moment where you hear that he coaches guys pretty hard in practice?
Yeah, so I was running a drill that was pretty new, standard, you know, shell defense drill, but pretty new to the guys. And we had implemented it in, you know, a little bit before, the day before, so we were kind of repeating it again. And coach kind of went from his observing mode to his like just kind of letting the gym know what's to come. And I kind of stopped because I was like, okay, coach is going, so like how am I gonna react and feed off of this? And then like a couple of the coaches were like, hey, just like keep going. And you know, we've been talking about Kylan. Kylan's like, come on, we're ready. So like I said, they feed well off of each other. Like, so it's just you feel his presence, but it just rises the level and the energy of the gym. Like everybody feels it, all the way. You know, coaches, players, managers, GA staff. You're gonna bring your best. So that's what it's about.